dare you talk to me anyhow?
Imagine getting a call from your baby sister while you're serving your country, only to hear her crying as she tells you she's been bullied, humiliated, and harassed every single day at the place she works, inside the very community you trusted to keep her safe. That's exactly what happened to Miles Bennett, a black man who left the country believing he was protecting his family by placing his younger sister in what he thought was the safest gated community money could buy. He was wrong. Inside the tall iron gates of Oak Ridge Heights, everything looked calm on the surface. The streets were clean, the lawns trimmed to perfection, and the silence felt expensive. This was the kind of gated community where people paid extra, not just for security, but for the feeling of safety, the belief that nothing ugly could ever touch them here. At the center of Oak Ridge Heights sat a small, modern coffee shop. Every morning, residents stopped by before work, after walks, or during quiet afternoons. It was where neighbors nodded at each other, exchanged polite smiles, and pretended they all lived the same lives. That was where Zara Bennett worked. Zara Bennett was a young black woman, soft-spoken and observant, working the coffee shop part-time to cover bills and tuition. She arrived early, left late, and never complained. She wore her apron neatly, tied her hair back, and moved through the space with quiet efficiency. And then there were the HOA security officers. Two men in dark uniforms, radios clipped to their shoulders, boots heavy against the cafe floor whenever they came in. They weren't real police, but they acted like it didn't matter. Inside Oak Ridge Heights, they were power. They enforced rules, questioned residents, and expected respect without earning it. The first time Zara noticed them watching her was the same morning one of them leaned across the counter and smiled too long. "You live around here?" he asked casually. She answered politely. Then he asked her out. She declined just as politely, calm, respectful, final. She didn't embarrass him. She didn't laugh. She didn't make a scene. But something shifted. From that day on, the two HOA security officers began showing up every morning, always together, always sitting where they could see her. Zara felt it immediately, the way safety can evaporate without a sound. The coffee shop was still full. The gates were still locked. The neighborhood still smiled. But something inside Oak Ridge Heights had changed, and Zara was standing right in the middle of it. By the second day, Zara understood it wasn't an accident. The two HOA security officers came in just after opening, boots heavy, radios crackling softly like reminders of authority. They ordered coffee and sat where they always did, center booth, full view of the counter. The first spill happened then. One of them tipped his cup slowly, deliberately, dark coffee spreading across the table and dripping onto the floor. "Oops," he said, smiling. "Looks like you missed a spot yesterday." Zara cleaned it without a word. The third day, it got worse. They started calling her over just to waste her time, changing orders mid-sentence, snapping fingers, laughing when she turned away. One of them poured sugar and creamer onto the table, watching as it ran down in sticky lines. "Make sure you get it all," the other said. "This place gotta stay clean, right?" People saw it. Residents sat nearby with their laptops and morning pastries, eyes flicking up and then away.